Hey everyone, this is Vivian, and welcome to the very first tracking mark. It was really nice to meet you all on the Facebook group and see your very first few exercises. Now the tracking mark is going to be about every week. I'm going to go through a couple students' homework and critique them and see what everyone can take away from those. Okay, let's dig into it. I'm going to start with Alex's homework, and let's play it through and see what I can say about that.
There's a network for people who know what a fat quarter is. QTV, the network for quilters.
Okay, well done, Alex. So first off, I want to say it's a pretty decent key, just a little strong. That's an issue a lot of people had, and that's totally normal, being your first exercise on the course. And there is 2 lessons dedicated to keying that are coming up soon. So you'll learn so much more about that, and especially about how to deal with hair and keep all the details in there. Otherwise, I think you did a pretty good job with the skirt. There is a little bit of holes here and there because your mask wasn't great on it. So make sure when you do the roto to always adjust it as she moves around. Here you're losing a little bit of it. But other than that, good catch on actually getting the skirt in there. I like how your background element is blurred. I love that you went for blue. I think it's great to make the exercise your own because everybody gets the same assets and the same footage. So I think it's great to just make it a little different. Okay, this one. I think you did a pretty good job with layering the blur, having less blur on the elements that are really close to the subject in distance to the camera. And more on the back and in the front. That's really good. Same issues here. There's a little bit of holes in her skirt. What else? Oh yes. So on this one, the cue still has the shadow of the TV all the time, when the TV only pops by the end. So make sure to adapt that at the same time. So have no shadow right here, and then have it grow up there. The best for that might be to do your own shadows. So get rid of the one under the cue, either by doing a mask or you can also get rid of the shadows using curves. If you go in the alpha setting and just crank it up so you don't see any transparency in your element, it would kill all the shadows. I really like that you animated the sewing machine. Just looks a little too much like a hammer, when you would like to have a constant speed on those. Other than that, that's pretty good. I like what you did with the shadow here. Just have the shadow on the tip of the foot only, on the back foot. Other than that, it's pretty good. Yeah, no, I think you did a pretty good job. Well done, Alex. Let's see what Victoria has been doing. So Victoria went all fancy on hers. I'll play it and let's talk about it after.
There's a network for people who know what a fat quarter is. QTV, the network for quilters.
Yeah, that's a great one. So again, making it your own, adding reflections everywhere and playing with that would really just make it a little different and add an additional challenge to it. I think your sewing machine is working great. Nice blur on it as well. You did a really good job with the skirt following it along. Yeah, it's really good. Same with your key, is really nice. It is still a little strong and gets rid of some details in her hair. But at the same time, it's a really decent key, so I don't want to be too harsh. Here, and I think it was the same for the previous one, I would love to see a shadow on the cue when she put her elbow on it. That would really help the contact and make it feel like it's in the same space. I like that you have a small dolly out and dolly in. I would do both in the same direction, just so it's helps the cut as well, but that's just me. here's pretty much what I was saying is whatever you have, if you have an element coming at the same time as the TV, just, yeah, make those match. I think the reflection works great there. Might be cheating a little bit because you're using Video Copilot's plugin, but hey, if it works, go for it. And nice having the motion blur on that monkey coming down, and motion blur on the TV as well. Yeah, that's always good. If you have anything moving in your scene, just check the motion blur box. Unless it's like demanding way too much resources, then you could use a fast box blur or something like that. If it's just a small element like that, that would really help make it look like it was shot with the camera, which is most of what we're doing here. Okay, I think that was a really neat job. One thing though is if your floor is not a perfect mirror, you would still see some shadows under there. So unless it's like 100% reflective, you would still need to add a little bit of something under there, which, I mean, it's not 100% reflective since you have color and everything. So yeah, you could add that. But other than that, great job, Victoria. Let's look now at Yuki's homework. Let's just play it.
There's a network for people who know what a fat quarter is. QTV, the network for quilters.
So Yuki, I really like the fact that you really made it his own stage, like added different textures, some more assets and everything. I think it does add to it. Then there's a couple issues on your key with that harsh, like the dark outline around there. And I think it's around here. You're losing even, your key is so strong, you're even taking away her eye a bit because it's reflecting the green environment. So yeah, you learned so much more in week 3 with the 2 lessons dedicated to it. So just be mindful of that and make sure you take notes during your the next week. And here again, a couple holes here, and here as well. So make sure the mask follows nicely. Same thing, I would add a shadow there to help that contact. And here, I think you did a pretty good job with the layering of the blur, just having a little bit more blur on the spool of thread. And your shadows are green. So for that, I would just cut them out and add your own shadows with a solid and a mask, so you can really control exactly what you want to do. Yeah, and no shadows on her feet when you should have one there. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty great. Well done, everyone. I know that first one was a bit of a tough one, and you'll learn so much more techniques to, like, you'll be flying through an exercise like that in a couple of weeks from now. So if that was a bit scary for you, don't worry too much. And yeah, let's see you guys very soon. Bye.